Giga Wrecker Alt is probably a game you've never heard about. For good reason. The game was released around huge titles like Mortal Kombat 11 and Outer Wilds. So it's not surprising that the game that got zero, I repeat, zero, promotion got a quiet launch. But as this is a platformer, and you should know how much I love my platformers, I bit the bullet and got the game. So let's find out if Giga Wrecker Alt is worth the purchase, or if it should just quietly fade away. What is happening? Mattmade here, bringing you my review of Giga Wrecker Alt on Nintendo Switch. Developed by Game Freak, yes, that Game Freak, the same ones who made this.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
Giga Wrecker Alt is the updated console version of Giga Wrecker, which was initially released on Steam back in 2017. The story revolves around Reika, who is captured by robots and almost assassinated by a white-haired girl named Amane. The assassination attempt is interrupted by the robots, and Reika is instead mortally wounded. Lying on death's door, Reika is confronted by the mad and oddly entertaining scientist, Kotaro, who saves her by turning her into a cyborg, using parts from the things that she hates. The robotic invaders from space who have come to conquer Earth, enslave its people, and take its resources. Quite a convoluted and long-winded setup for a game that boils down to hitting enemies and chucking their mangled corpses at other enemies, but okay, I'll hold my judgment. The game is an action platformer where you use your cybernetic implants to control the nanomachines and destroyed enemies. Basically, you run around hitting things and then clump those things together to hit bigger things, like I said earlier. However, you can do more than chuck big rocks at enemies and walls. You gain abilities as you progress to shoot arrows and get a sword. Each ability adds a layer of complexity to the game and the way you get through obstacles. You'll spend most of your time figuring out how to unlock doors and get over pitfalls. Although this game is classified as an action platformer, it would be better to describe it as a puzzle platformer with some light fighting elements. A few play fights, if you will. Sort of like a couple of toddlers in a fight club. The brunt of your time will be spent looking for power-ups and switches to get deeper into the area and eventually to the big boss in the section that you need to take out. Reika is slippery. No, not in that way, you perv. Get your mind out of the gutter. Bad. When you stop, there are times where you keep moving and will slide off of ledges or into enemies. This is really annoying as it happens often and you have to account for the slide whenever you move. Not only is Reika slippery, but at times your debris ball feels like it has a mind of its own. The ball has its own hitbox, so if you clip a wall or ceiling, you can leave some of the debris behind. This sucks when you're jumping over a pitfall or scaling an obstacle and drop zone, as you can and will need all of the debris in order to progress past a puzzle. The smallest piece of this stuff can make a huge difference. It is really an absolute unit. The puzzles are pretty simple. Most won't take longer than a couple of minutes to figure out and solve. If you do make a mistake, you can simply rewind time and try again. Yep, they throw in time travel. It's actually a large part of the game for various reasons. However, I'll let you find out how yourselves if you're so inclined to play the game. Rewinding time sets everything to how it was before you got there, enemies included. There are even times where you need to reset the puzzle in order to get to the hidden area or a crystal block that will give you upgrade points. Speaking of upgrades, the game not only features power-ups you get by exploring, but also as you destroy garbage, let's be honest, that's exactly what this stuff is, you get orbs. Collecting enough orbs will give you skill points. These skill points can be used to upgrade Reika's various abilities and health. You can also find a crystal cluster that will net you a ton of these orbs. The skill tree opens up as you allocate skill points to things like being able to throw your trash ball farther and even healing when you're standing idle. The skills are mostly helpful, and filling out the tree will make the game far easier, especially more health. You will always need more health, unless you land on spikes, because those damn things kill you in one hit, just like this is Mega Man, without the tight controls. The power-ups you get have many uses and add a layer of complexity to the puzzles that refreshes the game and doesn't leave it feeling stagnant and repetitive. Making blocks, chucking spears, and creating a sword out of the debris helps you not only to explore and get around the area, but defeat enemies in fun ways. the few times you actually run into them anyway. The levels are pretty generic, and while exploring, everything just blends together. None of the set pieces really stand out. It's all samey and uninspired. I never went, man, this area was dope, I really want to go back there and explore. Not even once. Which is a shame, as Game Freak creates interesting and unique vistas within the Pokemon franchise. Most of the backdrops felt like a copy and paste job with different area sizes. You find yourself staring at row after row of, actually, I don't even know what the hell those things are. Walkways, support beams, who knows? It just comes off as lazy and has terrible presentation. Even the ground is simply a texture swap. In a factory, make those floors steel. In a mine, make that ground dirt and put a few more rock walls around the place. It's all just so bland and forgettable that you get lost trying to find your way around to sections you haven't been to yet. This is exacerbated by the fact that the map is absolute trash. You're only able to tell what section you're in, not where you are specifically within that section. On top of that, you have to interact with locked doors for them to appear on your map. They're not automatically added when you find them. Meaning that if you forget to mark it, you can be exploring for 30 minutes just trying to figure out where the damn door was. It reinvents something that has been a standard in games forever. The character designs aren't that impressive either. They remind me of characters from Danganronpa. They aren't super generic, however there's something that just feels off about them. However, on a positive side, each character does have a big personality. They're all quirky and weird, which is a given since they live in a post-apocalyptic world rife with dangers. Their interactions are usually fun and give more insight on the state of the world. Reika and Kotaro bickering over the comms makes them feel close and like they're on the same team, rather than Kotaro just being interested in his new creation. And Amane is Trunks. I'm just gonna let you figure out that one yourself. The bosses you encounter also have their own unique traits and personalities. Each is motivated by something and likes or dislikes the others. As you look at logs and explore, you come across bits of dialogue fleshing them out right up until you fight them. Even more interesting is that Reika's comms will pick up conversations between them, really hammering home that even though they're robots, they have very human-like characteristics, giving the game a great undertone, which would have been even better if the game didn't specifically point out these things and handhold you through the entire narrative. Giga Wrecker Alt does its best to try and establish its world and characters. It definitely does one far better than the other. With its copy and paste areas, lack of any real defining traits, and shoddy at best controls, this game's story is held back by actually having to play the game. The story and lore are very interesting, but at every turn you're reminded that this game was built on a small budget. It didn't get the polish that it needed in order to truly shine and stand out among the many platformers that are currently available. It looks and plays like a mobile game that was ported to consoles. Hell, even then many mobile games look and feel really well put together now. But what do you think about Giga Wrecker Alt? Have you heard of the game? Do you think it was worth Game Freak's time to even make it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And don't forget, if you're a fan of gaming, consider striking that subscribe button. This is Mattmade, and I'll see you in the next video.
Button.